Hello. More full moon in Aquariusness for all of you, because I think this is a significant point of time for all of us. And I don't know if you've noticed it already, but if you have, this kind of stop-start energy, expansion, contraction, Jupiter, Saturn. And I spoke in the writing that I did about the fact that we are now in the opening square, the first square of their cycle together. And just like the moon and the sun have a cycle that goes conjunction, square, opposition, which is where we are now. Sun and moon are opposed to each other in the sky. Second square, second conjunction. That cycle happens between pairs of planets when they come together to conjunction, then move to square, then to opposition, then to square, and then back to conjunction. These transpersonal planets, these heavy hitters, these ones that are further out than the personal planets, Mercury, Mars, and Venus, got that all out of order, are the ones that affect us all. They affect the globe, they affect the earth. And so it may be happening kind of personally for you in your chart, if it's in your chart, if you're kind of configured with that. But if not, then not. And you may be seeing it in the outer world. Or you may not be seeing it at all. And we have to keep that in mind. You may be unable to access these energies because that's not where your attention is focused right now. And nothing much happens for you. And that's fine. That needs to be part of the equation as well. Because basically what we're talking about at all points in time in astrology is the combination of opposites, the unity of opposites. Wherever one planet is, you can find the medicine for it in its opposite, right? You can find a way to counterbalance things by understanding and perceiving where things are. For me, this moon, I put a little something together for you here because Aquarius in both charts, in both tropical and in sidereal zodiacs, is, like I said, it's unusual. It's what some people are calling the blue moon. I'm not really sure I jive with that this time. But it is kind of an exclamation point on things. And so we want to pay a little bit of attention to Aquarius. And for me, Aquarius, with its opposite sign Leo, Leo is kind of the monarch, all about myself. And on the Aquarian side, it opens out into conscious awareness generally and all people and things like that. That's one aspect of that dynamic, and certainly is kind of at large in this particular full moon. Aquarius is the feet, the legs, the shins, the calves. And so there's a sense of like that selfish me tendency of Leo. Selfish, relative. There's no good and bad in it. I'm just saying that is Swami. And she's being very good. Gator is over there, and he is also being very, very good. Is tempered by being crowdsourced to a certain degree, by connecting to the point of awareness that we all have. 2 points on this. What I wrote in the blog post portion, back of the envelope sketch here, probably from Candace O. Denver. Everything is the self-transformation of awareness. Everything is the self-transformation of awareness. Awareness is undergoing a self-transformation in this moment. in you, through you. That which is perceived, that which we understand, that's what awareness touches, is an aspect of the perceiver. So what I'm seeing outside of me is something that exists within me. Awareness, free and independent, that's the sticking point for this full moon, right? Is the cause of the performance of everything. And then I just kind of want to touch on what freedom means in traditions like yoga, in Eastern traditions, as contrasted with the Western perception of freedom and independence, which is about my freedom, Leo, my independence. The Eastern side, the Aquarian side of that, is that freedom means being free of attachment to our thoughts, our beliefs, and the things we need to have happen in the outer world. So, Leo, I need freedom, versus Aquarian, generalized thought that applies to masses of people. We need freedom. We need to do more of what works for all of us. Me and them. And if you look at the contrast in the world, that's really what the whole of the zodiac is talking about. I, myself, and all the others that I'm interfacing with. Right. I think I covered everything that we should talk about, but I want to do one thing. It's Gyatri Mantra in the Hindu tradition, and it's a beautiful sentiment that is encapsulated in a mantra that I want to give you right now. And the mantra that I want to give you is the Gyatri Mantra. So before I do my yoga practice with my teachers who are in India, whether they be in Shivananda or City Yoga, I do a prayer. And you've heard others before, but probably not this one. So the Gyatri Mantra is basically a prayer for greater awareness. And it goes like this. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Diyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, now what did I say there? The consciousness, awareness, right, that pervades the three worlds, matter, the Bhuloka, prana, the Bhurva Loka, and Swar, the divine mind. The most adorable of all that consciousness is the sun, Savitur. And I am sitting, or it is my intention to sit, with that divinity so that it may awaken my spiritual consciousness. Prachodayat. Now, the consciousness of matter, the first loka, the first world, earth. The second loka, the consciousness of prana, the consciousness of life force, the inhale and the exhale, is the atmosphere of the planet, the little bubble of perfect oxygen that keeps us alive. And then the third loka, the Swar Loka, the third world, is heaven. And in that heaven sits the sun. And the sun is the planet of Leo. Aquarius is Saturn, matter, and Uranus, change. And if you read what we put into that blog post, or even if you didn't, Uranus and the hard aspects, the squares to Uranus by the sun and the moon, are shifting things that have been stuck for too long. So when we talk about being stuck for too long, we want to focus on our legs and our feet, right? And we need to focus on our feet because we need to be grounded. Walk around in the grass today if you get a chance with your shoes off, or the sand if you can. We're going to sit in Dandasana now that we've done our Gyatri Mantra. And at the end, Om Shanti 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 means peace, peace, peace. So let's have peace. And we're going to sit in staff pose. And staff pose is that pair of right angles that is the square, also the symbol of the earth. So we are grounded here. If you need to, lift the gift a little bit so that you can make contact with those two bones at the tops of your legs. And feel that point and area. Feel all the way down into your toes and flex your toes back toward you. Now, we're going to point and flex our toes only. So bend and flex and bend and flex. And while you're doing this, just try to do all of those, even the pinky toe, right? And see if it's possible for you to remain in an upright seat to maintain your Dandasana while you're here. If you need to, bring your hands down beside your hips to give you a little support to bring that chest up. Chin tucks down just a scotch. Good. Let's do 2 more toes only. And then let's do just the big toe. Back and forth. All the other toes going opposite. And if you start to cramp up in your feet here, just back off a little. Try and do this kind of gently. See if you can make all of these movements gentle. Remember, we're trying to be free from attachment to our thoughts, beliefs, and things we need to have happen in the world. So if your toes aren't bending as much as this, don't worry about it. Be with your toes. These are my toes. Be with your toes, right? And let's do 2 more. Big toe forward, big toe back. Good. And then we're going to move into the ankles. So what we want to do is point the whole foot forward, whole foot back, whole foot forward, whole foot back, whole foot forward, whole foot back, whole foot forward, whole foot back. Excellent. Now we're going to circle. So start in a clockwise direction. Whatever way your clock turns, go ahead and put it there. Good boy, Gator. Good girl, Swanee. You're very good. These are Griffons. They are French hunting dogs, French bird hunters. And we'll go ahead and go the other direction, so counterclockwise. Gator came in for his close-up. Yeah, those are the toes. He's a little wobbly. He's my wobbly boy. I've been taking care of Gator since he was a baby. And his partner dog at that point was Edme. Okay, we're done with circles. And now we're going to try something a little bit different. So take the feet just a little bit apart, intertwine the fingers behind your leg, and bring your thigh as close to you as you can. And then we're just going to bend and flex the knee. Go as far as you can. Do what's comfortable for you here. Bending and flexing. I'm getting kisses. It was very nice. And bending and flexing. Let's do 2 more like this. 1 and 2. And now we're going to hold. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8, on 9, on 10. Then go ahead and bring that one in. Give it a little hug. Sit up straight again from your back. Excellent. And release that leg. Pop the knees around a little, and we'll start with the other side. And flex and bend, flex and bend. If you're hearing a little crunching, that's okay. It's not a big deal. No, Gator, you can't stay there. Keep flexing and bending. Gator, can you go lie down? There's a good boy. And flex and bend and one more. And then let's hold it. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8, on 9, on 10. Go ahead and bring that one down. Give it a nice tight hug. Use that to straighten your back. And exhale. Good. And now let's sit in a V, but only a small V. And again, if you need to get back on your sit bones, do that. And if you need to take your hands out beside your hips to keep yourselves upright, it's a good time to do that. And let's pop the knees around a little bit here. And we're going to work into our thighs, this Aquarian part of the body, the legs into the thighs. And what we're going to do is tilt the toes out and then in and out and in. And you get the picture. What we want to try and do is open up from the hip to the inside of the thighs and the outside of the thighs. It also has a good effect on shins, calves, and knees. So we want to open and close the adductors and the abductors and give them a little bit of a chance to move around like that. I like the way this feels, so I'm going to keep going for a second. And then I'm going to bring the feet back together. I'm going to start with my right foot, and I'm going to bring my right foot toward the inside of my thigh. And just sit up straight here and feel that for a second. And on the exhale, I'm just going to walk my hands forward any degree that I can and feel the opening of my low back. Feel that stretch. I'm not trying to force anything today. I'm just trying to notice where I feel comfortable and where I don't. It's like Gator, you know? He's like getting up there in years, and he's got a bed over there, and he's got a cool tile floor over there, and he's just trying to work out where he's comfortable while I'm talking to a machine. He had a nice walk this morning. Swanee's nice and tired. Good. That was a nice long stretch. Now we're going to take that foot and we're going to bring the ankle kind of over the knee. You notice that my knee is up here. I'm not trying to bring that to the ground at all. But what I am going to do is I'm going to fit my fingers into the webbing of my toes. And I'm going to bring my toes up to the webbing as far as I can. That might not be possible. You know, the first time you do this, you may really just need to keep just fingers in there. But as you move into it, and if this feels good to you, it might be something you want to do more than once. And then we're going to bring those toes toward the body and away from the body. And we're going to use the hand to do this. I'm holding on to my ankle and to my toes. And my posture is starting to suffer a little bit, so I'm going to remind myself to sit up straight and draw my chin in so that my neck is long. And then I'm going to do 2 more bends this way. And then I'm going to take my foot in a circle. And it doesn't matter clockwise, counterclockwise, because we're going to do both ways. And just feel your ankle going through its whole range of motion here. And then let's go the other direction. I'm not big on counting revolutions or repetitions because I basically just do it until I need to change. And I encourage you to do the same too. So if you have, some spare time and you don't want to do it as long as I'm doing it, just sit. It's always good to sit and relax. And then when you feel complete on this side, take the foot so that the ankle is a little bit above the knee. You don't want to be right on your knee with this one. Place the hands back behind you and just open your hip by doing some gentle back and forth movement, almost like a butterfly's wing. a lot of people think that this is a bad thing to do, to kind of bounce a joint like this, but feel for yourself. And if it feels like a bad thing to do, don't do it. But if you like the feel and you can tell that it's kind of moving that hip in a new way, moving the knee in a new way, and it's okay for you, just give it a shot. We're going to do it again later, so you can think about that. And then go ahead and bring that foot down and bounce your knees again. Just feel into that leg. You may even notice a color difference due to circulation pattern change. Anyway, enjoy that. And then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So just bring your left foot in as far as you feel comfortable against your right thigh. And then from here, we're just going to sit up straight and come forward. I've got a nice flat back here because that serves me looking at you and also projecting my heart toward you. Remember, as we move through an Aquarian moon, that can be very in the head, very cerebral, very awareness oriented. The antidote, the medicine, the counter pose for Aquarius is Leo. So being in the heart, being in your courage, being within your limitation of what you adore is entirely appropriate. Moving beyond what you know, what you love, and what feels like the area in which you can be courageous is not appropriate for you right now, right? Do what's appropriate for you. That's the biggest and best use of any full moon. There may be a lot of people popping off kind of crazy out there, and there may be some really wonderful stuck things that need to move that get some traction at this point. The goal for all of us is to be like Ian Forster's seafarer, right? Who greets with an equal eye the deep that he must enter and the shore that he must leave. These things are all one to us. We are spirit in a material form, but only for a little while. That's an encouraging thought. Okay, and from here we're going to come back to our straight seated posture and bring that ankle across and above the knee. We don't want to be on our knee here. If you feel like you can't bring it closer to the body than the knee, then you can lean forward and put it below your knee here too. And we're going to take the toes back and forth. And using the arm and the elbow entirely for this one, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then we're going to do circles. This circle reminds me that it's an opening square between Saturn and Jupiter. You know, what's the plan here? Just to keep breathing on one level. Do not forget your inhale and your exhale. Do not forget your heart. But can we kind of encapsulate some moral clarity and some dexterity with the changing landscape that is inhaling and exhaling around us? Because if it's happening to us, we can know that it's also happening outside of us. And let's go the other direction with our circle. There's a lot of verbal sparring going on in our noosphere right now, in our ways of understanding. And we need to be able to continually question our thoughts, beliefs, and the things we think we need to have happen in the outer world. We need to be able to adapt. Very good. And then from here, let's take that ankle more toward the inside, above the knee or below the knee, and bring the hands back and just move that leg up and down a little. You'll definitely notice as you move into the hip, but all throughout the entire leg complex, one side is completely different from the other, right? They feel very, very different. And just opening up that hip. You may not feel it, I don't, as open as the other side is. This is my compensation side, right? I work a lot from the right side of the body. So my left side is tight and stabilizing. Not unlike the points of the zodiac. You know, we learn these things as we move through them. So we don't have to have awareness all figured out. Awareness is the cause of everything that's happening. And we are familiarizing ourselves with it through matter. It's kind of exciting. Wonderful. Okay, last things that I want to do here, because I want this to be a shorter video. I want to do a card spread for you during the full moon, which is entirely possible because it's right now coming up on noon, and I should be able to have that spread for you at 12:25 Mountain Time. Now from here, we're going to bounce the knees again and just feel into the legs. If you want to, you can take the feet out just a little bit more and then move the toes out and in again just to feel those hips. Feel if anything has loosened for you a little bit. Good. And then we're going to take one foot in and the other foot in. Now this is not the most comfortable position for everyone, but if you can, move yourself back to your sit bones. It doesn't matter how far your feet are from your body, so if they feel too close, just take them forward. That's an excellent use of this. If you want to bring them a little bit closer, you can, and if it seems like you could do it, take your hands and bring them around your feet. If that's not possible, hold the ankles, hold the shins, anywhere along in here, and then try to bring your heart up. Try and bring that Leo quality, that courage, toward me. Point your heart toward me. Swanee is waving in her sleep. She says hi. Now from here, real slow, real gentle, we just want to buzz the knees a little bit. Just dip them around. Yes, yes. Just a touch of movement there. Feel it kind of going into raising and lowering of the hip, but also the knees. Be real sensitive to your knees and to your ankles here. Good. And then I have a pair of options for you. If you like this position and you'd like more stretch on your inner and outer thigh, you can just fall down and bring your elbows somewhere, anywhere along the leg. And then you can round the back, the neck, and the head. But if it's too much for you, if you don't need that much stretch, go ahead and take your feet forward and just weave your hands underneath your calves a little bit, and then let yourself fall forward into Kurmasana. This is turtle pose. And inhale and exhale. Just take time to breathe here. And if you want to stay longer than I have, go ahead and feel free to do that. If you'd like to move on to last thing, we're just going to do one counter pose for this movement. We're going to do fish pose. So we're going to take the feet out in front of us And we're going to lie back completely on our backs. Take your hand under one butt cheek and other hand under the other butt cheek. On your next natural inhale, so you're making a heart below your ass with your thumb and your forefinger. And on an inhale, just lift up onto your elbows, look forward. And then on an exhale, slow and steady, very comfortably, drop your head down. This is an intense flex for your neck. And we're just going to take 3 deep breaths here, trying to pull the heart forward, trying to pull the Leo part of us up toward heaven, toward the Swar Loka. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale. And then on the exhale, let your head fall down. Take your hands out beside you, feet open, maybe about a foot apart, backs of the hands 6 inches away from the hips. And come to rest in Savasana. Make the back of the neck long by tucking the chin a touch. Imagine taking your shoulder blades together and then down into your back pocket, and then let the whole body just relax there. With the neck long, relaxing the feet, starting with the toes, soles of the feet, the ankles. Relax your shins. Release your calves. Relax your knees and the backs of your knees. Relax your thighs. Release your hips. Let your belly relax. Relax your low back. Release your middle back. Relax your upper back. Release your shoulders, your chest, your belly, your heart. Relax your shoulders, your arms, your hands. Relax your wrists. Release your throat. Relax your face. Release the back of your neck. Relax your ears. Release your jaw. The bridge of your nose and your cheeks relax. And let your eyes sink into their sockets and release completely. Relax your forehead. Release your temples. Relax your whole scalp. Let your entire head relax. And finally, let your mind relax. Release your thoughts. Relax your feelings. Let your mind relax. this moment of relaxation, we can let go of our thoughts, our feelings, and our beliefs about what needs to happen outside of us. We can bring our attention to our heart and to the three worlds that we can control, or at least have a little bit of influence over: our thoughts, our feelings, and our beliefs can move can shift, can reorient like the inhale and the exhale, touching lovingly every point of the spectrum between sun and moon, and any other 2 points we need to navigate. If it serves you, please feel free to remain in Savasana for as long as your body needs. I will close with the Gyatri Mantra once again. Om. Svaha Tatsavetur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimai Dio Yona Prachodaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Guru Satguru Maharaj Jai Ki Jai. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you for joining me. Happy full moon in Aquarius.